Hey there, good man fam, and welcome new viewers to another episode of the Female Guessing Game. Now, the way this game works is that I'll review a video that has a single female in it or multiple females in it. But here's the catch. When it's a single female, I'll be asking you if she's a traditional woman, or modern female. However, when it's multiple females in the video, you won't know about which female I'm asking you until the end of the video. So, you have to stay to the end of the video to see about which female I'm asking you is a traditional woman, or modern female. Ready? Let's get it.
If you had a daughter, would you prefer your daughter to have a body count of 1 or a body count of 100?
I do have a daughter.
Okay. So would you want 100 penises in and outside your daughter?
Well,
or just one?
Since my daughter is 5, I would rather you.
When she's of age, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Right, but no, I wouldn't. But I also.
Okay, so the reason why you wouldn't, that means body count matters.
Now, he just put her in a logic corner. What did I tell you all about a particular type of female? Because I don't know what type of female this female is. But a particular type of female doesn't like being put in a logic corner. What they normally do is use hope and subjectivity to get out of that logic corner. They'll create a trap door that you never even saw coming in order to be able to get out of the logic corner in which you put them. So he just put her in a logic corner. Let's see what she says.
Think about it, right? Let's have a logical conversation. The question is, does body count matter? You said no. I wouldn't care. You said I wouldn't care if another woman had a higher body count. It doesn't matter. So I'm saying that if your daughter, right, would you prefer her to have 100 bodies or one body? You said no. You would prefer her to have one body. So that means that it does matter. Do you concede?
No.
That's crazy. That's crazy. He just went through the logic of it, right? And then he said, do you concede? Now, why would he even waste his time asking that? Because most females, especially in the West, aren't going to concede because most females are modern females. But maybe he thought she was one of the 22% of females in the West that aren't modern females. So maybe that's why he asked her. And what was her response? What was the first word that came out of her mouth after he asked that question? No. Are any of you surprised? Put it in the comment section.
Because I know how important it is. But if
all because you said because, once you say because, it matters. Once you say the word because, that means that it matters. You get it?
No, I'm saying to me it doesn't matter. To my daughter, that's the only woman I care about.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying I don't care how many guys these girls have slept with. I'm not gonna look at them any different. For my daughter specifically,
it does matter.
For my daughter specifically,
it matters. Okay. If it matters.
See what she just did there? She just did the thing that modern females do. Modern females will try to support and defend the sisterhood. So even though he asked her a question about her daughter, what did she say? Well, I don't care how many people with whom these females have slept. I'm not going to judge them. I'm not going to look down upon them. But he didn't ask you that. He didn't ask you that. Why are you saying that? Because the same reason why they won't answer questions directly when you ask them that would negatively affect the outlook of the sisterhood is because they don't want to change. So because they don't want to change, they don't want to say anything to someone that would have to force them to change, because normally when a particular type of female has that said to them, they lash out. So she knows how the sisterhood works. She's like, nah, y'all not gonna get me. Y'all ain't gonna have me out here with the sisterhood beating the heck up on me. No, sirree, bye.
I don't need no man.
for your daughter, right?
Right.
Wouldn't you want you would say that you are a caring individual,
Yeah.
right? And you are empathetic individual,
Yeah.
and for the reasons that it matters for your daughter, due to X, Y, Z, those reasons that you would prefer your daughter to have a one body count over 100 bodies, right? There are good moral reasons to it, right?
Yeah.
Right. So since you're an empathetic woman, that means that you can empathize with people, right?
Yeah.
And you are a caring woman.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say that the caring woman would also care about other people and they would want this, what's best for their daughter, for other people's daughters too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Done. I was just sitting here listening like he is setting her up. He's setting her up. And it's funny because they usually see the setup coming and they try to deflect and move the goalposts or move the field of battle onto a field of battle on which they think they can win. This is what normally happens when they see a setup coming. But she didn't. But maybe it's because in her mind, she's not going to agree regardless of what happens, so she doesn't care. I don't know. You all have to tell me if you think that she's that type of female in the comment section. Remember, is she a traditional woman, or modern female? Pay attention to all the females on the panel because that's how you're going to be able to determine which one you at least believe them to be. Man, what's the one guy? Got him. Got him. Let's see what she says.
He's like, actually,
That's the guy.
well, no, the reason I paused is because I was going to say I actually don't care because that's...
Wait, what?
Because
Okay,
I'm
let me ask
saying-
you. This is a question about what it gets even more deeper than what you're thinking. I think morality is objective, right? You're saying that morality is subjective.
No.
Okay, so if you don't believe that morality is subjective and you believe that morality is objective, I believe you said you're a Christian, right? You believe in Jesus Christ, right?
Yeah.
So then that means that you should definitely believe in that morality is subjective, right? I mean, objective,
Like
not
body
subjective.
count, should matter.
So that means that let's just do a hypothetical. If someone, off someone,
Right.
committed a crime and, that person was
Right.
out dead, right?
Right.
That would be an immoral behavior.
That would be a sin.
Correct. It's immoral. Got it.
Well,
So,
no.
It is
Because
immoral.
immoral and sin are two different things.
I mean, sin is immoral.
sin is
Any
transgression of the law.
yeah, well,
Here we go. Here we go. It's starting. It's starting, people. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. This is what's happening. She thinks that she sees him trying to take her somewhere because she just got trapped a second ago. So what is she doing? She's like, no. I'm going to try to put it on the grounds on which I want to put it. I need to be able to have some footing here. So let me try to control the verbiage. Let me try to control the definition of words. Let me try to make sure that the narrative is the narrative I'm telling him, not the one he's telling me. This seems like it's about to be a battle. Let's see.
no, sin in itself, it's
Sin
immoral.
means transgression of the law. So that means if you don't follow the law of God, you're sinning.
Yeah, but anything, if you're not, it's still immoral.
Immorality.
Even from secularism, it's still immoral. If you don't believe in God,
Immorality
we would
is a
still
sin.
call it immoral. So immorality is
It's
a
a
sin.
sin. I just
It
Googled
is,
it.
Yeah,
yeah.
so I didn't even have to Google it, but
And
he's on
sex
point.
is the biggest sin ever.
Yeah.
Ain't it crazy? Ain't it crazy that even though it is a sin, she like, nah, it's not technically, immorality. It's a transgression of the law. And so what did she start doing? She started doing the subjectivity thing. Didn't I tell you all? Hope and subjectivity are the worst two character traits for females when it comes to anything dealing with relationships. And what are we talking about? We're talking about intimacy as something dealing with relationships, some type of male-female relationship. It's always subjective. So they always try to put it into a particular realm to make it to where they can do what? Create that trap door to get out of it. Now, that's normally what a particular type of female does. Is she that type of female now that she's kind of, or is she just using their tricks? It could be both. We don't know. Let's see.
Saying this, right? Let's just use the hypothetical to test your logic so you really get what I'm saying. I'm saying that hypothetically, if someone killed someone, you would deem that as being immoral. Yes. So you wouldn't want it. Now let's just bring it back to your daughter. You wouldn't want anyone to kill your daughter. No, you wouldn't want that. So you also should want what's best for other people too. That's the caring thing. You said you're caring, you're empathetic. So that means that you're a person that wants what's best for other people. And what's best for other people is to not be killed. Same thing with body count. What's best for other women, just like there's all these cons to your daughter having a high body count. Guess what? There will be cons to these other random people having a high body count. You're a person that's caring and empathetic. So obviously the right answer would be then to care about those other people and what you want's best for your daughter, you want what's best for other people too, right?
Right, but what I might think is best for my daughter, I can't decide what's best for other people. I don't know.
No one said that you can't decide.
Well, no.
But I'm saying that
I don't want
being
my
a caring
daughter...
individual, right? So if you would conclude, right, that you wouldn't want your daughter to be killed and you wouldn't want other people to be killed, can you conclude to that?
Yeah, but I think you're misunderstanding why I don't want my daughter to have 100 body count.
I don't misunderstand that. We already know.
Dude, he's asking you a question about morality when it comes to ending people. Okay, that's about what he's asking you. And because she can't engage on that actual subject matter specifically, because remember, you have a conversation with an individual, you go through multiple stages of the conversation, A, B, C, D, E. If somebody's on E, even if they're going to reference E to talk about A again, if they're on E, you stay on E until they move it to A, because they're the ones who's leading the conversation, especially if they're the ones asking you questions. But she's like, no. I don't want to talk about that because it's difficult for me to engage in that because I'm getting cooked. As Adrian Broder said, I'm getting cooked. So what does she do? I just told you. Move the field of battle onto a field of battle on which she thinks she can win by saying, I don't think you understand about what I was speaking. Wait, but you're not the one leading the conversation. You're supposed to be trying to understand about what he's speaking. It's not looking good for you, ma'am, when it comes to the 1, 2, 3 rating of which of these females you are.
I don't need no man.
Know why you don't want your daughter to have a high body count due to all of these cons to it, all of these negative things that will come upon your daughter for having a high body count, because you want what's best for your daughter. All the things that you were even speaking about, you named a few of them, right? Because you said there's these reasons. So
I didn't name any of the reasons.
Well, you did. You started to name reasons of why you wouldn't want your daughter to have a high body count. Do you want to list off the reasons? Do we need to do that? I don't think we need to do that to get this point across. I'm just saying this, right? We're just testing the logic by using the hypothetical. Since you would, now answer this question concisely because I need you to understand.
Have you all started to notice that she seems kind of combative? I mean, y'all can tell me in the comment section if it's me. She seems combative. It's almost like she's not sitting there and listening to him to try to understand what he's saying and engage in a good faith dialogue. It seems like she's waiting to do the thing that a particular type of female does, which is hear a particular word. I've said this multiple times out of the entire conversation, and then lock in on that word and respond to that word, not the thing he's saying, but the word. Is it me? Or does that seem like that's what she's doing? Y'all tell me in the comment section.
You wouldn't want anyone to kill your daughter. So let's just say another word. To off your daughter. Right? No. Answer yes?
Right.
Okay. You wouldn't want that, right? And you also wouldn't want other people to off other people's daughters. Right?
Right.
Right. Got it, right? That's because you are a caring individual.
That's
now
God says not to murder.
Got it. Also, what else does God says? Not to, be promiscuous and have sex without a wedlock and all of these other things. And you want your daughter to be a good, virtuous woman. So that means, why wouldn't you want other people's daughters to be good and virtuous? You're saying that you don't care about them. That's an ungodly thing. That's a woman that doesn't have any empathy or any caring, capacity.
I'm not saying I don't care. I'm saying that when I say like I don't care, like I'm not saying like, oh, I don't care who these women go out and sleep with.
Dude, she just said, I'm not saying I don't care. But when I'm saying I don't care if they sleep or who they sleep with. You just said it's not that you didn't care. It's that you don't care. And then you told us about what it was you don't care. How is it that I'm about to do a double negative, don't not care, but you just told us you don't care? Dude, you definitely need Robert Downey Jr. You never go for a retard. Remember when he said that in Tropic Thunder? A legendary movie. You never go for a retard. Why is she going full that? Why? Because it's seemingly she's I'm not gonna say it. Y'all tell me in the comment section what type of female y'all think she is.
I don't need no man. Sleep with 100 men, like that's between them and God and the men that they sleep with. Like I don't.
Well, and my answer would be that you're not a virtuous woman, because the virtuous woman wants what's best for them. They want what's best for other people.
Thy neighbor, like it states in the Bible.
Yeah.
So yeah, sure.
Do as to other people as you want done for yourself. That's what it says in the Bible. So that means that do as whatever you want done to you and your family and everything, you want that to be done to other people too. Treat people how you want to be treated. So whatever you want the best for yourself, you should want the best for other people. That's why even in the friendship dynamic, men, we could not even see each other for, months. See, homie, months later, we can miss all the birthdays and all of that. See, homie, it's like we never even left. Women, you're all emotional and stuff. You miss the birthday. If your friend misses your birthday, guess what? Y'all enemies. It's beef. It's up and it's stuck. It's up and it's stuck.
Come on. Don't act like what he's saying is not true. Nah. As they say on Chantel Samoa channel. Nah. Don't act like that's not true. Females know that's true. The females on the panel know it's true. Look at the lady right there to the right. She's smiling because she knows it's true. Because females, the particular type of female they're catty. They are. And because of the self-centeredness of a particular type of female, if you aren't doing what it is that they want you to do, they don't think, oh, let me give them the benefit of the doubt. They almost automatically go towards what? Negativity. And you don't want to be that type of person. Males generally don't do that. We're the opposite. We think, oh, man, he's probably busy. Oh, it ain't no biggie, man. I'll get up with him when I get up with him. Cooley's right. That's literally what men do. And females do the opposite. A particular type of female does. But she's trying to say, or wherever it was, seems like they're trying to say that that's not the case. And come on, we know good and well that it is.
And it's on site.
Not for me.
Dan, I need
I've
the camera.
Had the same girlfriends for the past 10 years.
I'm speaking in general, baby girl. It's not always about you.
Well,
but listen, so do you understand that logic, how it's a logic fail?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Do you think the man you want would care about your past? If not, why?
Hold on one second. I couldn't let that go by. She said, sure. That's what she said. Sure. Why does she say that? Think about it. I've talked about this in previous videos. The reason that she said that is because she wants to reserve the right to say, I never really agree with him. Now, you would probably think, wait, what do you mean she reserves that right? She just said sure. No. You have to listen to how she said sure. She said sure in the way a person would roll their eyes and throw up their hands. So that later she could say, I just said sure so he would move on. I didn't agree with him. What did I tell y'all? They want to reserve the right when they get put into a corner. They want to reserve the right to be able to create a trap door to get out of the logic corner. That's what they want to do. And that's her trap door. I couldn't let that go by. Let's take it back a little bit.
I don't need no man.
So, do you understand that logic, how it's a logic fail?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Do you think the man you want would care about your past? If not, why care about his future? Okay. Let's start with Jody. So do you think the man that you want would care about your past?
Absolutely.
Okay. And all right. Sure. What about you?
Yes, just to know if I have like trauma. Like, I feel like every man is like curious of like what is he getting into? Okay. What about you?
When you say care, I guess you mean like would it like stop him from like being with me, or like
or would it just be would it hinder the relationship? Maybe he won't take you seriously.
I don't think it would hinder the relationship. I think he would want to know so that he is like aware of like my life experience. But I think the man who like wants to be with me, it's not going to stop him.
You never go full retard. Dude, are you serious? Are you serious? Did you notice how the other female's like, yeah, it's going to hinder. And what does she do? Try to move the field of battle onto a field of battle in which she thinks she can win. So she hits you with the, you know how they say a real man with da-da-da-da. She hits you with the, well, the man that would want to be with me, I don't think he'll care. Because that allows her to say, well, the man who doesn't want to be with me because of that, of course he'd care. He don't want to be with me. But a guy who really likes me, he wouldn't care. So if you care, that means you don't really like me. No, boo-boo. It's normally the opposite. That if a guy wants to care about you, he cares more. That's why a guy who shows that you matter more to him, the way that he does that is by putting boundaries on you. He starts saying, I don't want you to wear that dress. I don't want you to, because he starts feeling more like you're coming to the point of representing him. So now he's like, okay, now we have to start doing this kind of merging thing, in body and mind and soul. So I need you to start kind of being more a representation of me. She's saying the exact opposite. Why? Because again, she wants to reserve the right to be able to make herself look a certain way and make the guy look a certain way. I mean, she's starting to reveal herself, if she hasn't already, of the type of female that she is. I'm sorry to say. I believe I know what type of female she is, but maybe you all think something differently. Put it in the comment section. Let me know.
Got it. So you think that a woman's past wouldn't hinder the relationship?
Not for the correct man. I think for some men, it absolutely would. I think some men, if they found out certain women's past, it would put a halt on things. But I feel like for the man, I guess that's supposed to be with that woman, he would look at it as like the stepping stones that got her to be with him.
Yeah, life don't really work like that. Life isn't a fairy tale. So a woman's past does matter. Just like a man's future matters. The reason why the woman's past, I would say the woman's past matters more to the woman, because when a woman goes through trauma and adversities, or had too many penises, too many sexual partners, right? She had too many sexual partners. the likelihood for her to then pair bond with her future partner or current partner goes down. Statistics shows that when a woman reaches a body count between 5 or 6, the likelihood for her to maintain a long-term relationship drops down to 20%.
How many of y'all think that she's actually listening? I'm talking about listening to understand, not just her ears hear words coming from him. How many people think that? Put in the comment section if you think that she's listening, because he's telling her some facts, not his opinion, actual data-driven facts. But see, here's the problem with facts. Somebody said they're stubborn things, but here's the problem with those stubborn things, those facts. When they run into a stubborn person, it's like the whole saying, when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, what happens? It's a stalemate. How are you going to get through a person like that? How are you going to get through the person's mindset who thinks like that? Probably you won't. They have to break that themselves.
So that means that it matters to her, because then the more partners she has, the ability for her to feel satisfied drops down. She's an unruly woman and no one can satisfy her. So I'll say it matters to the woman even more than it does to the man. To the man, it's an ick feeling. It's gross. Ew. God dang. That high body count. God dang. That much trauma. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Pack them bags. You're not for me. Only recreational use only. So what's your thoughts on that?
My thought is that men don't like women who sleep around, but then men, like you were saying before, men are only as loyal as their options. So if a man has a lot of option and he's slept with a lot of women, men are okay with sleeping with a lot of women, but they don't want us to sleep with men. But who are the women that they're all sleeping with? Like, which women are they okay with sleeping with when they're not in a relationship with? And then, like, how...
Did you notice what she just did there? You notice what she just did there? What did I tell you all? Once you understand how just females in general work, but a particular type of female works, you see clearly what it is that they're doing. It's like you can't unsee it. You can't unhear it. She just went from the conversation being about them, females, and being promiscuous to saying, yeah, but guys can sleep with females in the whole nine. And who are the females with whom you all are sleeping? Wait a minute. You do understand that the man has to get the permission from you to sleep with you. So you're trying to make it be men's fault, put the onus on men for sleeping with these females. Mind you, that's just a small percentage of men who can do that. Those are the men who have looks, game, money, or fame. If they have one of those four, they can get and sleep with girls. However, the majority of the guys can't do that. So first of all, you're talking about a small percentage of men, but a big, huge amount of females. And then those females have to agree to that. And somehow in her mind, she's like, nah, this is a gotcha for guys. Just switching the subject matter, because again, trying to actually take responsibility for something. Come on. What did I tell you all? They can never be the villain. They always have to be the hero. They can never be the culprit. They always have to be the victim. They can never be the cause. They always have to be the person upon whom the effect of the cause was thrown. This is how they roll. What's that one song from the old school? This is how we do it. This is how they do it.
This is like,
I'm not understanding your question.
If men,
that question isn't connecting any dots.
Men sleep around, right? They're sleeping with a bunch of different women.
Most men don't have the ability to sleep around. It's only
what if they pay?
Well, that's.
Well, I'm not even saying what if they pay. Like, I mean,
all those guys are simps.
That's what.
Yeah, guys that pay for boxer simps. Yes. But go ahead.
Yes.
Well, I guess like so. I mean, like, sometimes I hear men talk about how, like, I hooked up with this girl this week, or I had a conversation with a guy the other day who's telling me that he was texting with this girl and she didn't put out in a month, so he stopped talking to her to start talking to another girl. So I guess what I'm saying is that I guess those are beta men, I guess you would consider them, men who like want women who put out quickly and sleep with them and go with another man, right?
Wait a minute. Did she just say what I think she just said? She said the beta men are the ones who, if a chick doesn't put out quickly, he says, all right, peace, goes to another chick and sleeps with her. Yo, you do know that the people who are normally considered quote unquote beta men are the ones who don't actually get chicks. So if they don't actually get chicks, they don't do well, she's not putting out, I'm going to go to another one. What they do is not even putting out, but not putting out quickly. I'm going to go to another one. They say, well, she's not putting out. Well, I'm going to work for it and I'm going to sit here for a month, 2, 3, 4, whatever months and see if I can earn her putting out. Those are the dudes who are normally the beta males. About what are you talking? The guys who can say, oh, I try to get with this chick and she doesn't want to get with me. All right, cool. I'm about to go over here and get with this chick. And then he goes over there and then he gets that chick. Those are the dudes who are one of the 4 guys, the guys who have looks, game, money, or fame. Those aren't normally the beta guys. What are you talking about?
I don't need no man.
You talking about men that want women that sleep around? Those men are beta, yes.
Right. So I'm saying like sometimes it seems like men are okay with sleeping with multiple different women.
Wait a minute. Whoa, let me go back. What the freak did Cooley just say? Hold on.
With another man, right?
You talking about men that want women that sleep around? Those men are beta, yes.
Right.
Oh, okay. I get it. I was like, wait, what? They're saying that the guys who want the females who sleep with a bunch of guys, those guys are beta males. Yeah, but you have to clarify what you mean when you say want, because females think differently when they say the word want compared to when men say it. When men say want, men are talking about being in a relationship. When females say want, they're talking about want to sleep with them. They don't seem to understand, a lot of them, that there's a differential between wanting to be in a relationship and wanting to sleep with them. Those are not the same guys. A guy who wants to sleep with a chick who sleeps with a bunch of guys, that's not, I'm talking about just want to sleep with her, not be in a relationship. That's not a beta male normally. So yeah, that almost had me like, wait, what with Cooley?
It seems like men are okay with sleeping with multiple different women.
Because
but they don't want women who have slept with multiple different men.
Because men and women are.
Why are they okay with sleeping with that woman that like one time?
Because men and women are different. Men and women are different.
Honestly trying to.
So I would say that the reason why I'll let you go after. I got you. That question, you're saying like, well, men are okay with sleeping with women, but they're not okay with women sleeping with a whole lot of men. But you're saying that you're conflating the two, and you're saying that, well, the man that's sleeping with a lot of women, wouldn't he be damaging that woman because now they're all sleeping? That's not how it goes.
Usually the man who sleeps with a lot of women is also the man who doesn't want to be with a woman who has slept with a lot.
Because men and women aren't the same. Because I'll answer the question.
Cooley's probably about to go into when you sleep with a lot of men, then you lose your value because people don't respect something that's easy to do. That's why people respect athletes. They respect like famous musicians because they look at that and say, shoot, for them to reach that level, we're talking about the high level athletes. They're like, for them to reach that level, man, that's not something anybody can do. So they respect those people. They respect ballerinas because when you're sitting there in the audience and you're looking at the stage and you're seeing what this normally female is doing body wise and performance wise, looking like a doggone swan, and it's freaking crazy. So you understand and you respect that. But you're not going to respect a female who sleeps with a ton of guys. Look at that one female who grip of gold slept with 1,000 men in a day. I think her name was Lily Phillips or something. Nobody respects her. Yo, she's like comatose inside. It's a wrap for her for the rest of her life. I wouldn't be surprised if she's on every drug in the world, if she's on all the drugs. I wouldn't be surprised because she's doing something that's not respected. So people look at her a particular way. That's why she has to keep trying to climax a lot, because she needs the dopamine hits from inside of her, because the minute that stops, she has to actually deal with her life choices. And she's probably going bananas inside. So he's probably going to say that that's the difference between females and males, that it's hard for males to be able to do that, which is why it's respected. Let's see if I'm right.
I don't need no man.
When you sleep with a man, you are conquered.
Right.
When I sleep with a woman, I'm the one doing the conquering. So men don't want a woman that's been conquered by a lot of men.
Right.
So
but
why
now
would we
live-
want something that someone else already done skeeted in, booted in, tooted in, and all that other stuff? Is like, God dang, she got 20 bodies? Well, yeah, I'll
That's not
crack, but I probably won't wife up if I have options, right?
Right.
The men that don't have options, well, they'll kind of take anything.
Did you hear when he talked about being the conqueror and them being the conquered? Her say, yeah, but what did I tell you all? What did I tell you? I called these females. I called them the butt girls. Why? Because they have nice butts and they're always saying, yeah, but to everything. Why? Because of hope and subjectivity. Everything is, yeah, but not me. Yeah, but I'm going to be different. God got me. He's going to send me my person. It's always subjective with them. There is nothing objective with them. And that's the problem. So she had to do the yeah, but thing because, I mean, it just that's what that type of female I believe she is does. I don't want to sway anybody, but again, you all tell me in the comment section what you think these females you see on the panel are. And I like that one female over there. She bad too. And she seems to have just as great as attitude as how she looks. I wonder if we're going to be able to hear from her this video. Let's see.
Out there fiending.
Okay.
But you had some too, right?
What was the question?
What she was talking about.
Well, I guess I was like, sometimes too, like now, like a lot of modern women, like men like this guy, if he doesn't talk to a woman in a month and she doesn't put out, and that girl, like, I guess younger women too, like if they see guys like girls who put out, they'll put out easier. It's like, it's not.
You said
I think men love whores,
It's a double standard.
to be honest.
Some-
you love
well,
sex.
well, that's I guess
Whores.
what it feels like. So
Whores.
men love
Your
and they
question isn't
want-
really like,
because it's
it's not hitting anywhere. You're just making it doesn't.
It's a double standard,
Well,
but we are
it's
different
direct.
because men can have sex
No,
without the emotional
right.
attachment, without
Agreed.
the decrease.
Like I can
of value.
answer your question from so many different angles, but you don't have a specific question.
But like,
You know why she doesn't have a specific question, right? We all know. Again, in the comment section, y'all tell me why you think she doesn't have a specific question. Because I'm about to tell you all why she doesn't have a specific question. Because what he is telling her is destroying her worldview. It's destroying the normalcy inside of her. And when that happens, it's almost like somebody transforming. You ever seen the movie, what was it? Underworld. Underworld is one of my favorite movie series. The Lycans and the VPs, the vampires. The Lycans were the wolves. They were like their mortal enemy, the vampires' mortal enemy. When the Lycans changed, it looked extremely painful. Why? Because their bones started growing and all of this stuff. You can hear the crackling and everything. You can see them leaning and bending, and it looked extremely painful. That's why she can't answer the question. That's why she can't even ask a question, because she's turning like a lichen inside. That's what's happening to her worldview. It's turning like a lichen. is going crack, crack, crack. And she's like, something's happening to me. I don't like it. I don't like the way it's feeling. That's what's happening to her. She doesn't like the fact that her normal worldview is getting destroyed. It's being forcibly changed. And so she's like, I got to say something. I got to do something. But because he's hitting her with so much truth, she can't rebut it. So she's trying to find something she can ask. She's trying to find a field of battle on which she can potentially win. But she can't even find anywhere to plant her feet. She's getting destroyed.
I don't need no man. We were going around asking one question. What was that question?
Oh, we didn't.
That's what I'm.
We didn't get to that yet. Me and her still stuck on the.
Okay.
So what we're on is the question was, ladies, do you think the man you want would care about your past? So that's when me and her got into the discussion. She said, well, if that's the man for her, then he wouldn't care about the past. I said that, well, explain why. She explained why. I said, well, that's not true because the woman's past matters not only to the man, but it matters to her because she's not able to peer bond and she will always be unsatisfied. Imagine eating something and never feeling satisfied. You're going to be like, dang, I never feel full. I never feel satisfied. It's going to suck.
That's a fact. That's a fact. It is a great feeling to feel full, but not like overstuffed. You feel full. It's a great feeling because it's a satisfying feeling. You feel satisfied. You feel content. You can just sit down and just take that deep breath. I'm going to tell you all something. I saw this video the other day, and this is a little reference to it. The video was of this gopher or something. I don't know what it was because it was laying on his back, but it was inside of a hole in the ground, right? And it had a bunch of grapes from the grapevine around it. Literally, like it was almost like it was laying on a bed of grapes that it had dragged into that hole. And it was laying on his back and it was just chewing. It was just chewing. And there was this music playing that was like the most nature driven, relaxing trees, the wind, nature, song ever. And people were commenting, man, that animal has won at life. Like it understands life. It's just laying there on a bed of grapes, just chewing with his eyes closed. Like, yes. And so it's funny because that just what he said just reminded me of that. So
the feeling full is like, dang, yeah, I'm satisfied. I'm no longer hungry. That's a good feeling. You settled. You are content. And women that sleep with a whole lot of men, they aren't content because they've been comparing, contrasting with sizes, bank accounts, height, the man that can raise her up and all of these type of things. So she becomes an unruly woman, meaning that she's for no man. She's only for herself and for the streets.
That was a bar. Says she's only for herself and for the streets. Bars. Dang, man. Dang, I'm sitting up here thinking about that particular female who was having the most back and forth with him. And I'm just imagining her training her child with the same type of mindset that she has. And people wonder why the world, particularly the West, has become what it has become. I mean, if you have these type of people teaching these type of things, and no matter in what logic corner you place them, they say, no, I'm going to use this trap door called hope. I'm going to use this trap door called subjectivity. What the freak do you think is going to happen in the future when it comes to relationships? And since family, nuclear family particularly, is the backbone of a community, and a country is made up of communities, dude. What did Adrian Broner say? Man, I'm getting cooked. Well, that's what's gonna happen, and it's happening to the country. It's getting cooked.
Now, remember, this is the female guessing game. So out of all of these females you've seen, about which one do you think I'm about to ask you all? Drum roll, please. So, tell me, is she a traditional woman, modern woman, or modern female? Put it in the comment section and tell me why you think so. And then grab yourself some merch on the way out in order to support the channel. And, of course, don't forget to click like and subscribe. Thanks, good man fam.